What's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into the politics and BS. Now, as we are in this second quarter, just beginning of this year, that is an election year, I'm going to start sharing more political content and not so much me creating my own. I consider myself a content commentator. And so there's a lot of different content creators that I am subscribed to and I listen to and I watch their stuff. And when it comes to the politics, I don't necessarily consider myself being one that is involved in it, even though I do vote and I have my thoughts and beliefs about things. But I want to start sharing other people whose political commentary I think other people need to hear. So I'm going to be sharing this commentary from this guy. He calls himself Tennesseebrando, and I'm going to put a link to the video in the description box if you want to watch it. But I want to go ahead and play this because I felt like it was just so real. And it honestly, I'm just going to be beautifully honest. It's really comforting when I see someone that isn't what you would call the typical. And sometimes people do judge books by the cover. And if you look at this guy, you might automatically assume that he is one of these people that is like MAGA or, you know, one of the people that is in what they call the cult of Trump. And he's not. He's actually a really smart individual. He sees the truth for what it really is. And I want to go ahead and get into this because it was just very refreshing. And I'm going to start sharing more stuff like this. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a while. I've done a little bit of politics and BS here on the Being Beautifully Honest channel from time to time. But I'm going to be sharing more of it because I just want to share some things that I'm listening to. So let's just go ahead and get into it.
The dude is the absolute walking embodiment of hypocrisy. He is the walking embodiment of a fraud. And no matter how many times you point it out to his followers, they get more angry at us for pointing it out than they do at him for being a hypocrite and a fraud. But we're going to keep pointing it out for those that are sitting back on the fence going, I really don't know about this guy. I know my family loves to rally around the table at Sunday dinner and they all love to talk about him, but I really don't know about this guy. So hopefully they will hear more of us talking and begin to realize just what a true hypocrite and a true fraud this guy is. From day one, he ran on build the wall. We got to build a wall. He's talked more about immigration than any president in recent memory. And now he's resorted to saying things like they're poisoning the blood and we have to root out the vermin. Do you guys remember when he said this?
We got a lot of work to do. They're poisoning the blood of our country. That's what they've done. They poison mental institutions and prisons all over the world, not just in South America, not just the 3 or 4 countries that we think about, but all over the world. They're coming into our country from Africa.
This dummy doesn't even know that Africa is not a country. It's a continent. Which country are you talking about? Or which countries in Africa are you talking about? Oh, let me guess. Probably all of them.
Asia, all over the world. They're pouring into our country. Nobody's even looking at them. They just come.
Oh, yeah. Asia, it's a continent, too.
The crime is going to be tremendous. The terrorism is going to be. And then we built a tremendous piece of the wall, and then we.
So you would automatically guess that a guy that would talk that way about immigrants wouldn't be married to one, but you guessed wrong because Donald Trump is in fact married to an immigrant. Melania Trump is an immigrant. She married him in 2005, and the following year she had their son Barron. She also became an American citizen in the year 2006, and since then she used a legal pathway to make her mother an American citizen. A pathway that Donald Trump has rallied against and called chain migration. During his presidency, he endorsed a bill called the RAISE Act, which would limit people from they could bring their spouse or their child, but not their parents. So when it works for Donald Trump and his family, he's cool with it. But if it's anyone else, he rallies against it. That's hypocrisy. If it's okay for his wife to be an immigrant and it's okay for her to use legal pathways to make her mother a citizen, why is he so down against everyone else taking advantage of the same legal system?
Because that's what hypocrites do. Do as I say, not as I do. It works for me, but it shouldn't work for you.
Well, how is that not hypocrisy? How is that not fraud? Every aspect of Donald Trump's life that he claims he's an expert in, he's a hypocrite and a fraud. Now he's out here selling Bibles. He's selling Bibles to his audience, and he's talking about how the world needs more Christianity. Take a look at this.
All Americans need a Bible in their home, and I have many. It's my favorite book. It's a lot of people's favorite book.
Lies.
This Bible is a reminder that the biggest thing we have to bring back America and to make America great again is our religion.
And that's bullcrap, because anybody that believes that religion is what everyone needs, listen, even if you believe in God and Jesus, which I actually do, they have nothing to do with religion. Religion is man-made. That's why you have so many of them, because religions were created to control people. But I mean, we wouldn't expect somebody who doesn't read the Bible and doesn't know that it's 2 Corinthians and not 2 Corinthians knows that.
Religion is so important. It's so missing, but it's going to come back, and it's going to come back strong, just like our country is going to come back strong.
So you would automatically guess that a guy who would say those things would be very well versed in the Bible and could quote scripture on call. But it turns out he can't. Take a look at this clip.
You mentioned the Bible. You've been talking about how it's your favorite book. And you said, I think last night in Iowa, some people are surprised that you say that. I'm wondering what one or two of your most favorite Bible verses are and why.
I wouldn't want to get into it because to me that's very personal. You know, when I talk about the Bible, it's very personal. So I don't want to get into verses.
He couldn't even just say Jesus wept. The shortest scripture in the Bible, 2 words.
I want to get into. There's no verse that means a lot to you that you think about or cite.
The Bible means a lot to me, but I don't want to get into specifics.
Even to cite a verse that you like.
No, I don't want to do that.
You're an Old Testament guy or a New Testament guy?
Probably equal. I think it's just an incredible. The whole Bible is an incredible. I joke very much so. They always hold up the Art of the Deal. I say my second favorite book of all time, but.
Oh my God, he's disgusting.
I just think the Bible is just something very special.
So he can sell Bibles and he can use the Bible to further his grift, but he can't name one book out of it. He can't name one of his favorite verses. I know Christians who can't wait to tell you what their favorite verses and their favorite books and their favorite stories are. Hell, I know atheists and agnostics that can tell you what their favorite verses and their favorite stories are. I'm an agnostic myself. I promise you I can quote the Bible circles around Donald Trump. The guy also said that he didn't see any reason why that he should be forgiven. The face now of Christianity to the evangelicals, the guy they have got behind, says that he don't know why he would ever ask for forgiveness. When their entire religion is based on accepting Jesus and asking for forgiveness. That's the whole base of their belief system. But they put a guy who says he don't know why he would ask for forgiveness, they put him at the front. And this Bible he's selling has the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Pledge of Allegiance, all in there. But yet he says he will terminate the Constitution whenever he sees fit. And he tried to overturn an election that he knew he lost. Again, there's absolutely no consistency anywhere in this guy's life. He talks about how patriotic he is, how much he loves his country, and he tells his followers to fight like hell to save democracy. But when it was his turn to fight, he dodged the draft. And then come back years later and mocked and made fun of John McCain and prisoners of war. He called dead soldiers losers and suckers. Where is any consistency with this fraud?
And that's really what does it for me when it comes to him. I mean, it's a number of things, but I can't stand him when it comes to the people who have served in the military. My husband is a veteran and we're going through it right now, okay? And it's not easy. And it's just disgusting when you consider the things that he said about them, but lied about having bone spurs so that he would not have to go into the draft when I know someone that has bone spurs because they served.
Any consistency with this hypocrite? Name one area of his life where he's not a hypocrite about it. And going back to Melania Trump, I do not have a problem with her coming to this country. I don't have a problem with her mother coming to this country at all. But is it not hypocritical that he would rally against the same system his own wife used to bring his mother-in-law to the country and make her a citizen? I don't have a problem with the fact that Melania posed nude. I don't have a problem with the fact that Donald Trump slept with a porn star. None of those things matter in the grand scheme of things. What matters to me is the hypocrisy of it, that they're sitting there telling us how we should live our lives and how that we're all going to hell because we don't act more like them and how the world needs Christianity when they are the walking embodiment of Satan himself. That's the part that that's the part that no one likes. No one likes to be preached to by a hypocrite. If Donald Trump was standing up there, a guy who had served his country proudly, a guy who had been married to the same woman his whole life, a guy that spoke eloquently and spoke with compassion and followed the teachings of Jesus and welcomed people into our country, if he was saying all of those things and then preaching at us that we should do better, I'd go, well, okay, I mean, the guy does live a pretty clean life, but I can name all kinds of people who lived a really good life, and Donald Trump has mocked and made fun of them. Jimmy Carter, if I was going to be a Christian, would be the blueprint that I would use to be a Christian. And Donald Trump has mocked that guy.
I mean, look at that. Jimmy Carter, I think, is still hanging on, but his wife went into hospice. They went into hospice together. Like, can you imagine that?
John McCain served his country proudly, and Donald Trump mocked that guy. Joe Biden is a Christian, and he mocks him every day of his life. Barack Obama is a Christian, and no matter how many times he said it, they wouldn't accept it. And that's funny to me because when I was growing up in church, we were taught that if someone came and gave their heart to Christ and said they were a Christian, we were supposed to love and embrace them and accept them. They just completely missed that memo when it came to Obama. So that's the type of hypocrisy and that's the type of fraud that so many of us are sick and damn tired of, and we're going to keep pointing it out no matter how mad MAGA or the evangelicals may get about it. They should be more offended than us that they've been played by this con man. They should be more offended than us that he has mocked people in the name of their God. They should be more offended that he stands up there and says, root out the vermin and build the wall, and then is married to an immigrant himself. That's what should offend them, not us calling it out. The fact that we're calling it out and you're getting mad about it just shows us that deep down, we're right. So now what's your excuse?
Well, you heard it. Let me know what you think about tennesseebrando and people like him that are calling him out for his hypocrisy. It's very evident to those who have eyes to see and ears to hear, but for those who choose to be blinded for whatever their real reasons are, hopefully one day they'll wake up. But listen, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks for being here, liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.